Hello everybody, this is the thejonnymar and welcome to a different kind of video. So in this video I'm going to be playing a game of Hearthstone Battlegrounds. This is a game I've been playing off and on since it was in beta, and I figured I would try it out for my channel here on YouTube. So for this particular episode, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the game's basics, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about my history with Battlegrounds as well as Hearthstone in general. And I'll do a little bit of a tutorial for those of you who might be watching who don't know much about this game. So we're going to pick Silas of our two choices here. And with Silas, when you pick a minion out from the shop, they might have a ticket coming out of them, and if you collect 3 minions from the shop that have tickets coming out of them, you get to choose a minion of your current tavern tier, which is a little bit like a power level. So everyone starts at tavern tier 1. Minions cost 3 gold. You'll notice that this minion here is a pirate, and it had a ticket coming out of it. So we will use him, and that will take us 1 ticket closer to our hero power here, which allows us to get a minion eventually. So Battlegrounds is an auto battler. What that means is that you determine before the battle actually starts the positioning of your minions and which minions are going to be on your team. And then once the battle begins, the AI, the computer, takes over and decides what minions yours are going to attack, and so on and so forth. So there are 8 total people playing, and your goal is to end up in first place to outlast everyone else and make sure that you either eliminate all other 7 players or just survive long enough to end up in first place. So we're going to grab this beast here, which is a token. It produces another minion, and then we will freeze here after refreshing the shop because we get a pair and also another ticket, which will give us a free minion because we'll then have 3 tickets. And I'll put my token beast ahead of the other one because of Rafam here, who can steal minions from you if you battle him in battle. So again, like I mentioned, I've been playing this since beta. Off and on, I play a couple games a day typically. At the beginning, you may have noticed you had a choice between 2 different heroes, and that is a recent development, so to speak. Basically, Blizzard finally decided to monetize Battlegrounds more so than just skins and cosmetics. I'm going to level up here to Tavern Tier 2 and then take my pair and get my free minion off of my hero power. And of these options, I do have 2 different tribes, which are the different minion types in beasts and pirates. So I'm going to take this minion, which buffs different tribes that you have in your warband, as it's called, which is your group of minions that fight for you. But in essence, up to this point, up until about, was it 2 months ago, month ago, essentially you could play Battlegrounds for free. And all you had to do if you wanted to get what were called perks, which allowed you to have up to 4 heroes to choose from before each game, and also access to things like emotes, was you had to pay 2,000 in-game currency. But then Blizzard decided to monetize the game finally after a couple of years of the game being available, and essentially you now have to pay $15 to have those same options. Now you get the emotes automatically, but you still have to pay the $15 to get access to the 4 heroes as an option. So, myself being free to play, I have never put $1 into this game. I've been playing Hearthstone, the card game, since it was in beta. Well, not beta, but the summer after it came out of beta in 2014, I believe. And so I have never put money into this game, and so I refuse to do it now. So these are quests. You have to do a certain aspect of the game as you're playing Battlegrounds, and then you'll get some sort of a reward. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one because getting golden minions is pretty helpful. And I do have a couple of options here in these demons that produce in-game minions while you're in combat. So I should be able to get that quest pretty fast. Just through battles that I naturally get to. So now I find myself as a free-to-play player not able to access the 4 heroes, and that does make a big deal. Now Blizzard likes to say, oh, it's not a big deal. All of the heroes are balanced well, and so only having an option between 2 shouldn't really matter, but it does, because sometimes you get an option between 2 really crappy heroes, and you end up doing really poorly. And I seem to also in those situations get really bad RNG. Certainly I'm not being punished for being free to play and not paying for the perks anymore. That would be not something that would happen, right? No, that's just a conspiracy theory. But the highest I've ever gotten in terms of my rating is around an 8,000. Again, I don't play that much, but my goal is always to get to about 10,000 if possible, but I'm not sure I'll ever get to that in terms of my rating, simply because, again, I just don't play enough. But maybe someday, if I really dedicate myself to it, that'll happen. But I probably have to play, like, I don't know, 30 games a day to get to that point, to become one of the truly elite Battlegrounds players. Ooh, this is a nice shop. So we're going to level here up to Tavern Tier 3. And we're going to save that demon. If you get 3 of the same minion, you get what's called a golden minion. And that makes it twice as powerful. Plus you get to choose a minion of a Tavern Tier higher than your current Tavern Tier. So I'm going to save that to try to get a higher tier minion, because generally they're going to be a lot more powerful than what I might get right now. So we'll save that demon for a turn or 2 from now. And again, I'm still wanting to grab what are called Death Rattle minions, like my 2 demons on the left there, and also my beast in the middle. You'll notice they have a little skull and crossbones at the bottom of their portrait. That means they do something when they die. So the demons summon another 4/1 demon, and the 3/2 beast, the rat there, summons a turtle, because that's actually a reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a sewer rat. But I'm feeling pretty good about how things are going so far. Haven't taken any damage, or any significant damage, and we're doing pretty well on our quest here. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really high rolling what they're doing as well, at least any of the opponents I've faced so far. So Rafam, which is the hero I'm facing, his hero power is you can pay 1 gold to basically get a copy of the first minion you kill in a round of combat. And that's actually a pretty powerful hero power. But we'll take the tie. So if you beat your opponent in Battlegrounds, and you have minions left when they don't after all of theirs die, we're going to just get rid of a couple minions here, and we're going to take our... Let's just take our hero power minion. We'll wait 1 more turn to go for the true triple here. I'm going to take the Explorer simply because it'll give me 2 minions. And it gives me an elemental that's actually better than what I originally was offered. So that's nice. Let's throw the elemental out there because it'll get buffed by my first creature to the left there. And then we will once again save our triple there to eventually cash that in and get probably a level 6 Tavern Tier minion. But each hero again has its own hero power. You start off with 3 gold in this game, and it goes up 1 gold per turn, up to a maximum of 10 eventually. Again, you need to level up by paying gold to get to higher level tiers, which generally have better minions available to you. And then you're looking for what are called comps, or certain collections of minions that work really well together. In the beginning of the game, you're going to oftentimes not really have a combination of minions that work well and synergize well with each other. But ultimately, as you play on and get deeper into the game, you're going to want to get to a point where you eventually find a group of minions that kind of play off of each other. So one example would be elementals. Oh, he already got his quest. Nice for him. So when he sells a minion, it gives its stats to a minion in the shop. That's a pretty powerful quest. But I still did max damage. When nobody's been eliminated, the maximum amount of damage you can do in one turn is 15.
Oh, Commander, you're so cool.
So let us cash in our triple here and get a 6th tier minion. And let's get rid of this guy and see what we get. Alright. Do we get something good?
Just like me.
Come on. Give me something good. That is not very good. I mean, the grease spot can be good if you're running a bunch of mechs with divine shields, which are those little bubbles around them, because then he keeps buffing them. But we don't have a lot of divine shields, so we're going to take the noisy looter. Not noisy. I think it's nosy looter. Because it gives us a guaranteed golden minion after 2 rounds of combat. So that'll be an automatic 6-tier minion eventually. Or 5 or 4. I think it's a random golden minion. So the minion itself that it gives us is random, but then because we're at least Tavern Tier 5, we'll get a 6 out of it for the golden when we play it. So that's certainly not the greatest Tier 6 minion to get, but it's something we can work with as we continue to work towards our quest. So yeah, we'll have to wait 2 turns to get it. But each hero has its own hero power, which does different things in battle. Some of them are better, some of them are worse. Some of them are my favorite, and some of them I hate. So heroes that I hate, for example, are AFK, which is a hero that makes you skip your first 2 turns. And they also have a really stupid achievement associated with them that I've been trying to get since I started playing this game. Which is essentially, instead of just 2 turns, you don't do anything for the first 3 turns, and then still end up in first place. And I think I've put in over 100 games with AFK, and I have not gotten that achievement. I've gotten close, but I've never actually done it. We've gotten to the final 2 with AFK, and I actually had a chance to finish the, I might want that eventually. Let's go with Baby Crush. And let's get rid of our beasts. And we will take the Light Fang as well. So Light Fang is a 5th tier minion, which is good because what it does is it buffs each individual tribe that you have in your warband by +2/+2 at the end of your preparation phase. So we're going to put Light Fang in so it starts buffing our minions. And we're still kind of looking for a comp. I would say this is not a final game comp. I mean, this is certainly something I could stick with. We're facing Rafam, so I don't want Light Fang in the front because I don't want him to just get a random Light Fang. But you can do a combination of all the different tribes and use Light Fang to buff them, but generally that does not scale very well, which means the minions don't get stronger and stronger each turn at a rate that is consistent enough to actually do well, to actually win. And that is the goal, is to end up in first place. Alright, so we finished our quest. And it looks like we're probably pretty easily going to win this game. So hopefully we're going to get something good from our looter. And we can actually choose a direction here. I mean, we haven't been doing terrible. We've done max damage a couple times here, the full 15. But, we Oh. Oh. Hello there. Yes, I will take that as my golden minion. Thank you. So that golden minion there is Nomi, and that is the elemental buffer. So with that on the board, every time you play... Oh, hello there. It's another Nomi.
Bye, minion.
But every time you play an elemental with Nomi in your party... these aren't the greatest. You buff future elementals that you find in the shop. So that is definitely a direction.
You found a
Having a golden Nomi and then a regular Nomi is going to buff elementals very quickly. So we're going to start playing our elementals here, because we want to start buffing them and see if we can find some. So I'm actually significantly weaker now, but this is for the future. My goal is to start seeing elementals eventually, and if I do, I am going to start power leveling very quickly. And I did get my quest now, so my left and rightmost minions are going to become golden from my quest. Oh, it had Divine Shield. This is going to be bad. I'm going to take a lot of damage here. Yeah. See, I need at least one more turn, and now I have to find a lot of elementals. I could very easily die here on this next round of combat if I don't find elementals. Well,
turn this around.
that's an elemental. So we're going to get rid of our beast.
Take a deep breath.
What that middle minion does, Ragnaros, is that... Let's see what we get here. Take it or leave it. Leroy's an okay card. It kills a minion automatically when it runs into it. But again, we're still looking for elementals. That is our priority here. But what he does, Ragnaros, is he buffs a minion on your far left, whatever your leftmost minion is, by +1 for each elemental that you played on your turn during your preparation phase.
Take a deep
And you may notice that my refresh, which is the little arrow in the upper right-hand corner, sometimes goes to 0, and that's because that minion I just got rid of, when you play an elemental, it drops your refresh down to 0. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So we are significantly stronger now. And we do have a Leroy in the pocket. Still to go, in case we need it. That far left minion is called Zap. And it attacks the lowest attack, I believe, minion on your opponent's board. And it has Wind Fury, which means it attacks twice. And when it becomes golden, it goes up to 14 attack, and it'll attack 4 times. It actually gets what's called Mega Wind Fury. So if this person I'm going to be facing next turn has any low-level minions with very low attack, then I am going to be able to take them out quickly. There are some pretty low attack minions that can affect things like death rattles and stuff, and make them a lot stronger. So it can be nice to have Zap if you need it.
Battle brewing.
Especially against beasts. So we're going to kill quite a few of these beasts right off the bat. And then that elemental to my far right, you'll notice the little lightning bolt underneath it. Every time one of my minions dies, he buffs elementals in the shop when he's golden by +2. So now I have that buffing elementals, and I have Nomi buffing elementals. So we should get some pretty strong elementals. But you noticed how quickly I turned things around. It took 2 turns to essentially turn my entire board around, due to the power of Nomi. So mechs are known to have, you know, Divine Shield and Death Rattles. That's kind of what their MO is. So again, Zap is going to be potentially helpful. And as long as we keep seeing elementals, we're going to keep scaling here pretty fast. Ultimately, I do want to start getting triples of my elementals if I can. And I will probably have to get rid of Nomi, at least the 4/4 Nomi, at some point. Because it just isn't going to do much damage in battle. Come on, give me some elementals. Okay, so this is what tends to happen. Hello. Alright, so if we can survive this round, we're going to get a lot stronger next round. But when you are isolated to one particular group of minion types, like elementals, you start to see less of them in the shop, especially if other people are also collecting those types of minions. So it's not uncommon for like 3 or 4 people in your lobby, as it's called, of the group of people that are playing, to be all collecting the same types of minions. Specifically something like Murlocs, which are known to scale quickly and can also have poison. Which poison, what it does is it automatically kills a minion when you hit them, if you have a poison minion. So no matter how big your minions are, if you hit a poison minion with it, it could be a 1/1 minion with poison, your minion's gonna die too. But again, we're just scaling too quickly now for, I think, most people. I don't know if I'm gonna eliminate this person. No, I'm not. But we're gonna still do some damage to him. But each round now, our minions, assuming we continue to see elementals, are gonna probably scale 10 to 15 points.
Awesome!
So here we have
Hi, Minion. I'll miss you.
what's called Little Rag. And he buffs a member of your party by the tavern tier in terms of stats when you play an elemental. So I'm going to keep getting bigger here as much as I can. And I'm also going to look for pairs so that I can hopefully eventually get a triple. Because a triple combines all the stats of all the minions that are added into the triple.
It's a great time to hire minions.
Alright. So this guy's been getting rocked recently. Okay. That's more elementals. Certainly worth it. I think I'm just gonna play it out. Okay, another rag. And there's some more elementals.
I'll miss you.
I'll take it. Alright, that's pretty good.
Victory.
Let's go here.
Bye, Minion. I'll miss you.
Okay. We'll get that wildfire next turn.
Oh, you're ahead. Keep it up.
Oh no, poison. Please don't get Divine Shield. Oh no. Well, that sucks. There's the power of poison. It just killed my very high statted elemental. Fortunately, the rest of my elementals are probably strong enough to take out his party. So we will eliminate him. Goodbye, Cthulhu. And I did misspeak. I think the one that buffs by how many elementals you play in a turn, by +1/+1 to your far left one, is actually Major Domo, not Ragnaros. I think I called him Ragnaros earlier. The little rag, which is my far right elemental,
Back to the pool.
is a version of Ragnaros. Which has, you know, a lot of lore in Hearthstone and Blizzard games in general. Okay, I'll take that. Nice. Keep buffing. I need another elemental. Okay, I'll take that triple. Watch how big it gets. 200. Now it can die very easily to poison. I guess zap? Just in case, there are some pirate comps that can use minions that zap can be useful for. But I also could just get rid of it and go for the solid stats and triple potential. Alright. So this looks pretty good. We'll go with the wildfire on the left. What it does is if it kills a minion, it attacks with any leftover damage to the left and the right of that minion. And then we got our 200 minion going next. And then my far right minion will get Mega Wind Fury when it becomes golden as well. So I'm feeling pretty good here. Without Murlocs in play, I don't have to worry about a ton of poison. But there are still some minions that can have poison. And of course there's also Leroy, which can take out a minion when he hits him. This guy's pretty strong, actually. So he got a Golden Hogger, which allows you to essentially go infinite with pirates and buff your pirates up pretty quickly. But fortunately, I just have bigger stats overall. So I'm going to beat him. So we're going to have to still take on Rafam. He also has elementals. Alright. Well, we have a couple in the store still that we can use to buff. And he died. Alright, well I will take that first place. So I hope you enjoyed Battlegrounds. And I'll see y'all in my next episode. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.